So typically, my experience has been in nursing and in healthcare, but for anyone who doesn't know, my wife and I are in escrow on this house, which is a part of this farm. So today, Cannoli and I are here for an inspection, and we're gonna do a perimeter walk while they're in the house, and yeah, you can hear all the traffic out there, but that's what a fence is gonna be for. Anyway, more to come. Hey! This is where the septic leach field is. And the windmill that you can see right there is where the cap is for draining and such. So it's really easy to access, which is great. So I'm all the way at the, I guess it would be the south side of the property. And there's a gate coming in from that road, but to give you some perspective, the house you can't even see. It's in the fog behind me. But, so this acre or so behind me, there's two more right over there. They're also part of the property. So it's a lot of work for goats to eat. So I was curious what this tree right behind me was, and it's a peach tree in the middle of this field. So that'll be interesting. But it's big, so it definitely fruits. So for those wondering, what the hell am I doing buying a farm? I don't know. I've always wanted to, probably like those childhood fantasies. But ever since becoming a vegan about 9 years ago, and after being vegetarian for 30-something years, the idea of having a place where we have the opportunity to rescue farm animals and other animals in need was really appealing to me, and to Kendra as well. Also, just have something that's our own, that we get to work on as a project now that our kids are all leaving the nest. So, exciting. Overwhelming, but exciting. It's a huge property. It's about 6.5 acres. And it mainly has a fruit orchard, has been the main thing. These fields were mainly used for just for grazing. For the family before us, they raised a few cattle here. So we're not sure. We may rent out these fields to see if anyone wants to grow something that could be more for the community. But we'll tackle that when it comes. So now I'm back on the land. Well, I'm always on the land, but back on the main property. So we thought this was the leach field here, but it's not. This is actually open area that we will be able to figure out what to do with some of the livestock we want, which is exciting. Let's go look at the farm. Well, the barn, not the farm. See, I have no idea what I'm doing. some people asked me in an earlier film that I posted, what's up with the well house? Well, we learned that it's owned by the local water utility. And so in exchange for having that on the property, we get 20,000 gallons of water per month for a penny. But the nice thing is that then they maintain it and they also provide the electricity. So that's a win-win in terms of one less thing to have to be responsible for. I'm at the front of the property on the other side. There's Chris, the inspector. Basement, and the inspector noticed something that we thought was interesting. Look here, this used to be a plumbing fixture, and it goes all up and around here, down here. And so you'd be wondering what could have been being grown in a basement back in the 90s. Well, it would have been a little marijuana growth area before it was legal. What you learn. Okay, so we've noticed a couple things that are interesting and will require someone a lot smarter than me. But there's some foundation issues which I would expect in a house built in 1911 and a couple other things. But I figured I'd at least show you what we might be getting ourselves into. So here, take a look. It's hard to see, but there's a crack in the foundation right there. And it's even harder to see, but there's another crack back there. And the issue is that this front part of the porch has been weighing down and settling and caused stress, which has offset the load. So that's something we need to be concerned about. Then, in the relatively new HVAC unit, there's shrubbery growing. So that needs to be cleaned out. So before we use that. And then the last thing that they've noticed is there's ivy and brambles that has grown underneath the siding. It goes up a ways, so that'll have to be pulled off to be taken care of. So I'm upstairs where there are 5 of the 6 bedrooms. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Meaning things are in good shape, but paint everywhere. And it's a 100-year-old house. Just want to give an honest take. There's absolutely some things here that seem bigger than a bread box in terms of what it'll take. The only thing really that I'm worried about at all is some of the foundation settling up in the front corner of the house. That's on the patio. Everything else is just a lot of work and a lot of money. It's a lovely house. The family that lives here has been here this morning. Typically that's unusual in an inspection, but they've been just charming and great people, and this has been their family home. And so it's been just really nice to have some time with them. So again, just to recap, it's 6.5 acres. It has a 4,000 approximately square foot house. It's the middle of winter. So, of course, it's the best time to look at a farm because that's when it looks its worst. It'll be really neat to see what this looks like in the spring. Tons of fruit trees that need pruning. Just a lot of work all the way around that I really just can't wait to get my hands on it. And I think Kendra and I were looking at each other the other day saying, this feels like something that we kind of need. That would be nice to have something together to work through. So at this point, nothing scares me away. But some of the main things that we do know we need to work on is we've got the foundation. There's some minor repairs. There's paint that needs to be done in the entire exterior. There's a lot of paint on the interior, primarily on the first floor. The floors in the main ground floor of the house should be replaced. They're just floating board. And the kitchen. My wife would really like to see us modernize the cabinets a little bit. And so that's it. I think the only other thing that came of concern was that the electrical panel, which is 150 amp, just has some things that need to be corrected. There's some double wiring and such that needs to be fixed and corrected. But there's room for us to add additional amperage, which will also be nice. So I think that's about it for today. So welcome to Twin Suns Orchard.